These 10 wheat pennies look harmless, worn, and ordinary, yet owning just one of them has helped collectors retire earlier than they ever imagined. Watch closely, because one coin on this list has sold for more money than most people earn in a lifetime. Let us start with coin number 1, a wheat penny most people would spend without hesitation, yet collectors quietly pay serious money to own. Most people assume every 1917 wheat penny has already been discovered, yet one quiet misunderstanding keeps causing collectors to miss where the real money actually is. In this video, you are going to learn why the 1917 wheat penny still creates confusion today, how different mint marks change collector interest, and why a completely separate variety pushed prices far beyond what most people expect. The year 1917 matters because it produced large numbers of coins that entered heavy circulation immediately, leaving very few survivors with sharp detail, original surfaces, and strong color. Collectors do not chase this coin because it is old, but because true mint state examples are exceptionally scarce once condition, strike quality, and originality are factored in. To check your own coin, first confirm the 1917 date, and then look directly below it for a mint mark, because misidentifying this small detail is the most common mistake people make. Next, study Lincoln's cheek and jawline along with the wheat stalks on the reverse, because flatness, dull color, or surface marks quickly separate an ordinary coin from a serious collectible. The 1917 no mint mark wheat penny from Philadelphia is the most available issue. But even this coin becomes highly desirable only when it survives in true mint state with clean surfaces and strong original color. The 1917 D wheat penny from Denver is scarcer, in top condition and often underestimated, because its value only emerges when the coin shows crisp detail and minimal contact marks. The most closely watched issue is the 1917 S wheat penny from San Francisco, where weak strikes and heavy circulation destroyed most examples long before collectors realized their importance. Collector demand for the 1917 S remains strong because high-grade survivors represent a level of preservation that may never appear again in significant numbers. Professional grading is essential, because auction houses and advanced collectors only compete for coins with verified mint state status, original surfaces, and respected certification. Many price guides show strong results for red and near-red pieces, but the highest confirmed auction price for a classic 1917 wheat penny in mint state condition is approximately $38,813. That price represents a standard business strike coin, not an error, and it reflects the absolute upper tier of preservation known for the regular 1917 issues. By contrast, the 1917 double-die variety belongs to a completely different collectible category, and this rare error has achieved auction prices around $120,000 due to its extreme rarity and demand. This distinction is critical, because the six-figure results come from the double-die variety, not the normal Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco business strikes. Market momentum remains steady because collectors continue locking away the finest known examples, while average and damaged coins permanently limit future supply. If you own a 1917 wheat penny, share the mint mark and condition in the comments, because understanding exactly which version you have is the first step to knowing its true place in the market. Number 2. Most people assume a 1936 wheat penny is nothing more than old pocket change, yet one overlooked detail keeps allowing valuable examples to slip past collectors every single day. In this video, you are going to learn why the 1936 wheat penny without a mint mark still matters today, how collectors separate ordinary coins from elite survivors, and why condition alone can turn a common date into a five-figure collectible. The year 1936 is deceptive because production was high, but preservation was not, and almost every coin entered circulation immediately during a time when saving coins in pristine condition was rare. What makes this coin special is not age or scarcity by mintage, but the fact that nearly all examples show wear, spots, or dull surfaces, leaving very few true mint state survivors. To check your own coin, start by confirming the 1936 date, and then look carefully below it for a mint mark, because no letter means the coin was struck in Philadelphia. Next, examine Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and coat, along with the wheat lines on the reverse, because flatness, contact marks, or dark brown color instantly separate a face value coin from a collector-grade example. The 1936 no-mint mark wheat penny from Philadelphia is the focus here, and while millions were produced, only a microscopic number survived with blazing original red color and undisturbed surfaces. For comparison, the 1936 wheat penny from Denver is scarcer overall, but even that coin only becomes valuable when condition reaches elite levels. The 1936 wheat penny from San Francisco often shows weaker strikes, which makes sharply detailed examples more desirable but still condition dependent. Collector demand for the Philadelphia 1936 remains strong because it represents a classic condition rarity, where common dates quietly become rare once preservation reaches the top tier. Professional grading is essential, because serious collectors and auction houses only compete for coins with verified mint state status, original color, and trusted certification. Many price guides show strong results for red and near-red pieces, but the highest confirmed auction price for a regular 1936 no-mint mark wheat penny occurred when a superb MS-68 red example sold for $19,200. That result represents the absolute top of the market for a standard business strike 1936 Philadelphia wheat penny, not an error or special variety. This price does not apply to average coins, because the overwhelming majority of surviving examples will never reach this level of preservation. Market momentum remains steady because advanced collectors continue locking away the finest known examples, while time permanently removes damaged coins from the high-grade population. If you have a 1936 wheat penny, check the mint mark and condition carefully, and share what you see in the comments, because the difference between ordinary and exceptional can be far greater than most people expect. Number 3. Most people believe every 1944 wheat penny is the same, yet one hidden detail quietly separates an ordinary coin from one of the most valuable eras in United States coin history. In the next moments, you will learn why collectors treat the 1944 wheat penny as two completely different coins, how to identify which one you have in seconds, and why a simple test can reveal a life-changing difference. The year 1944 is unique because it marked the return to copper after the steel cent experiment of 1943, which means most pennies that year were struck in traditional copper alloy. These copper 1944 wheat pennies were produced in enormous numbers, making them common by mintage, even though most people never realize how condition alone can dramatically change their value. When a 1944 no-mint mark copper wheat penny survives in elite mint state condition with original surfaces and strong color, it can command auction prices as high as $22,000, but only for the finest known examples. That is why the copper 1944 wheat penny is collectible but not rare by type, because millions still exist and most collectors can acquire one without difficulty. The story changes completely with the 1944 steel wheat penny, which was never intended to be produced and exists only because a small number of leftover steel planchets were accidentally struck. These steel 1944 wheat pennies are among the most famous mint errors ever created, because their survival was accidental and their numbers are extraordinarily small. Unlike copper examples, the steel 1944 wheat penny is silver gray in color and magnetic, making it instantly identifiable when tested correctly, when authenticated and certified. 1944 steel wheat pennies have achieved auction prices reaching $180,000, reflecting how aggressively collectors compete for confirmed examples. The rarity climbs even higher with the 1944 steel wheat penny, which has realized auction prices exceeding $400,000, placing it firmly in the super rare category. This is why collectors draw a clear line between the two, because copper 1944 wheat pennies represent normal production, while steel 1944 wheat pennies represent a historic mint error that can never be repeated. The date alone does not create value here, because the metal composition is what determines whether the coin is common, rare, or truly extraordinary. If you own a 1944 wheat penny, the first thing to do is test whether it sticks to a magnet, because that single step instantly reveals which category your coin belongs to. Before you scroll away, share this in the comments, because it helps everyone watching learn faster, and it may reveal something important about your own coin. Do you Have a 1944 wheat penny that is copper, or do you have one that sticks to a magnet? And what mint mark do you see under the date? Number 4. Most people think the 1955 wheat penny story is simple, yet one misunderstanding keeps causing collectors to confuse an ordinary coin with one of the most famous errors in United States coin history. In this video, you are going to learn the real reason 1955 wheat pennies command such wildly different prices, how to tell which version you actually have, and why collectors treat these coins as two completely separate categories. The year 1955 produced millions of wheat pennies at the Philadelphia Mint, which means the standard no mint mark version is common by production, even though most people never realize how condition still changes everything. Most 1955 wheat pennies entered circulation immediately, and only a tiny percentage survived with sharp details, clean surfaces, and original red color, because of that survival gap. The highest verified auction price for a regular 1955 no mint mark wheat penny in elite mint state red condition has reached approximately $38,400. That price reflects the absolute top of the market for a normal business strike coin and does not apply to circulated or average examples. The confusion begins when people hear about six-figure prices linked to 1955 wheat pennies, because those numbers belong to a completely different coin. The 1955 double-die obverse wheat penny is a major mint error, famous for its bold doubling on the date and lettering that can be seen without magnification. This error was created during the die-making process and exists in extremely limited numbers compared to regular 1955 wheat pennies. Because of its dramatic appearance and historical importance, the 1955 double-die obverse has achieved auction prices exceeding $200,000, placing it among the most valuable Lincoln cents ever sold. This is why experienced collectors always separate the two coins, because the regular 1955 wheat penny is condition-based collectible, while the double die is genuinely rare. The date alone does not determine value here, because variety and preservation decide whether a coin is ordinary, valuable, or legendary. If you have a 1955 wheat penny, examine the date and lettering carefully. Then consider the overall condition before assuming what it might be worth. Now tell us in the comments what you see on your 1955 wheat penny, whether the lettering looks normal or doubled, and what condition your coin appears to be in, because that information completely changes the story. Number 5. Most people think the 1944 wheat penny is simple, yet one hidden detail quietly turns this date into one of the most misunderstood coins in United States history. In this video, you are going to learn why two coins with the exact same date and mint mark can exist in completely different value categories, how to tell which one you have in seconds, and why collectors treat one version as ordinary and the other as legendary. The normal 1944 wheat penny is made of copper, struck at the Denver Mint after the United States Mint officially ended the steel cent experiment of 1943. These copper 1944 wheat pennies were produced in very large quantities, which means they are common by mintage, even though most people never realize how condition can dramatically change their value. When a copper 1944 wheat penny survives in elite mint state condition with full original red color and clean surfaces, it can reach auction prices around $24,000, but only for the finest certified examples. That price represents the extreme top of the market and does not apply to circulated or average coins, which is why most copper examples remain modestly valued. The story changes completely with the 1944 steel wheat penny, which was never supposed to exist and was created when a steel planchet was accidentally struck during the transition back to copper. These steel 1944 wheat pennies are magnetic, silver gray in color, and exist in extraordinarily small numbers, making them one of the most famous mint errors ever produced. Because of their accidental creation and extreme rarity, verified 1944 steel wheat pennies have sold at public auction for prices exceeding $200,000, depending on condition and certification. This places the steel 1944 wheat penny firmly in the super rare category, far beyond the normal copper issue in both scarcity and demand. This is why collectors clearly separate the two, because the copper 1944 wheat penny represents normal wartime production, while the steel version represents a historic mint mistake that can never be repeated. The most important lesson is that the date and mint mark alone do not determine value. Because the metal composition is what truly decides whether a coin is common, rare, or extraordinary. If you have a 1944 wheat penny, the first thing to do is test whether it sticks to a magnet, because that single step instantly tells you which category your coin belongs to. Before you leave, share in the comments whether your 1944 wheat penny is copper or magnetic steel, and describe its condition, because that one detail changes everything about its story. Number 6. Most people assume the 1945 wheat penny is ordinary because it was the final year of World War II, yet one quiet reality makes this coin far more interesting than most collectors realize. In this video, you are going to learn why the 1945 no-mint mark wheat penny still matters today, how condition quietly separates common coins from serious collectibles, and why collectors continue watching this date closely. The 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia during a period of intense coin usage, when most cents entered circulation immediately and were rarely preserved. Because of that, this coin is not rare by mintage, but it becomes scarce once you focus on survivors with strong detail, original surfaces, and untouched color. To identify your coin, start by confirming the 1945 date and then look below it for a mint mark. Because no letter means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Next, examine Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and coat, along with the wheat stalks on the reverse, because flatness and surface marks quickly separate circulated coins from true mint state examples. Millions of 1945 no-mint mark wheat pennies were produced, but nearly all were spent during and after the war, leaving very few coins preserved in top-tier condition today. Collector demand centers almost entirely on condition, because only a small number survived with blazing original red color and sharp strike quality. In elite certified condition, the highest verified auction price for a 1945 no-mint mark wheat penny has reached around $18,000, achieved by a top population mint state red example. That price represents the absolute ceiling for a normal business strike 1945 Philadelphia wheat penny, and does not apply to average or worn coins. This is why the 1945 no-mint mark wheat penny is considered collectible, but not rare by type. Because millions still exist even though pristine survivors are scarce, market interest remains steady because collectors continue removing the finest examples into long-term collections, while time permanently reduces the supply of high-grade coins. If you have a 1945 wheat penny, check the mint mark and condition carefully, because those two details determine whether your coin is ordinary or genuinely collectible. Now tell us in the comments what condition your 1945 wheat penny appears to be in and whether it still shows original color, because that information changes how collectors view the coin completely. Number 7. Most people overlook the 1950 wheat penny because it appears modern compared to earlier dates. Yet one quiet factor makes this coin far more important to collectors than most realize. In this video, you are going to learn why the 1950 no-mint mark wheat penny still matters today, how collectors judge its true potential, and why condition quietly controls everything about its value. The 1950 wheat penny without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia during a time when the United States Mint was producing coins at extremely high speed for a growing post-war economy. Because of this, millions entered circulation immediately, and very few were carefully saved in pristine condition before wear, handling, and storage damage took their toll. This coin is not rare because of its mintage, but because high-quality survivors with original surfaces and strong red color are far scarcer than most people expect. To identify your coin correctly, start by confirming the 1950 date, and then look below it for a mint mark, because the absence of a letter confirms Philadelphia origin. Next, examine Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and coat, along with the wheat stalks on the reverse, because softness, dull color, or contact marks instantly lower collector interest. While the majority of 1950 no-mint mark wheat pennies are common in circulated grades, elite mint state examples tell a very different story in the collector market. In top certified condition with full original red color, The highest verified auction prices for a 1950 no-mint mark wheat penny have reached around $16,000, achieved only by exceptional top population coins. That price represents the absolute upper ceiling for this issue and does not apply to average or lightly circulated examples. Collectors continue to watch this date closely because it represents a classic condition rarity, where value appears only at the highest levels of preservation. Professional grading is essential here, because serious buyers and auction houses only compete for coins with verified mint state quality and original color certification. Market momentum remains steady as advanced collectors quietly remove the finest known examples from the market, while time permanently reduces the supply of top-grade coins. If you have a 1950 wheat penny, check the mint mark and condition carefully, because those two details determine whether your coin is ordinary or quietly collectible. Now share in the comments what condition your 1950 no mint mark wheat penny appears to be in, and whether it still shows original red color, because that information changes everything about how collectors view it. Number 8. Most people never give the 1951 wheat penny a second look, yet this quiet date hides one of the most misunderstood condition-based stories in the entire Lincoln Cent series. In this video, you are going to learn why the 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny still matters today, how collectors judge its real potential, and why most examples never reach serious value. The 1951 wheat penny without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia during a period of extremely high production, when speed mattered more than preservation. Because of that, millions entered circulation immediately, and very few were set aside carefully enough to survive in truly pristine condition. This coin is not rare by mintage, but it becomes scarce once you focus on survivors with sharp strike, clean surfaces, and full original red color. To identify your coin, start by confirming the 1951 date, and then look below it for a mint mark, because no letter confirms it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Next, examine Lincoln's cheekbone, jawline, and coat, along with the wheat stalks on the reverse, because flatness, dull color, or contact marks dramatically reduce collector interest. Most 1951 no-mint mark wheat pennies you encounter today are circulated and common, but elite mint state examples tell a completely different story. In top certified condition with full original red color, the highest verified auction price for a 1951 no mint mark wheat penny has reached around $16,000, achieved only by a top population mint state red example. That price represents the absolute ceiling for a normal business strike 1951 Philadelphia wheat penny and does not apply to average coins. Collectors value this date because it represents a classic condition rarity, where value exists only at the highest levels of preservation. Professional grading is critical here, because serious buyers and auction houses only compete for coins with verified mint state surfaces and original color certification. Market interest remains steady as advanced collectors quietly remove the finest known examples from circulation forever. If you have a 1951 wheat penny, check the mint mark and condition carefully, because those two details determine whether your coin is ordinary or quietly valuable. Now tell us in the comments what condition your 1951 no mint mark wheat penny appears to be in and whether it still shows original color, because that information changes everything. Number 9. Most people assume the 1953 wheat penny is too modern to matter, yet this date quietly exposes one of the biggest misunderstandings collectors still have about Lincoln Cents. In this video, you are going to learn why the 1953 no-mint mark wheat penny continues to attract serious collector attention, how condition changes its entire value profile, and why most examples will never qualify as truly collectible. The 1953 wheat penny without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia during a period of extremely heavy post-war production, when coins were made fast and spent immediately. Because of that, nearly every 1953 wheat penny entered circulation, and only a tiny fraction survived with untouched surfaces and original color. This coin is not rare by date or mintage, but it becomes scarce when you focus only on examples with sharp strike, clean fields, and strong red color. To identify your coin correctly, first confirm the 1953 date and then look below it for a mint mark, because the absence of a letter confirms Philadelphia origin. Next, Inspect Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and coat, along with the wheat stalks on the reverse, because flatness, dull color, or contact marks immediately separate common coins from collector-grade survivors. Most 1953 no-mint mark wheat pennies found today are circulated and modest in value, but elite mint state examples tell a very different story. In top certified condition with full original red color, the highest verified auction prices for a 1953 no-mint mark wheat penny have reached around $18,000, achieved only by top population mint state red examples. That figure represents the absolute upper ceiling for a standard business strike 1953 Philadelphia wheat penny and does not apply to average or lightly worn coins. Collectors watch this date closely because it represents a classic condition rarity, where value exists only at the highest levels of preservation. Professional grading plays a critical role, because auction houses and advanced collectors only compete for coins with verified mint state surfaces and original color designation. Market momentum remains steady as the finest known examples quietly disappear into long-term collections, permanently shrinking the supply of top-grade coins. If you have a 1953 wheat penny, check the mint mark and study the condition carefully, because those two details determine whether your coin is ordinary or quietly valuable. Now share in the comments what condition your 1953 no-mint mark wheat penny appears to be in and whether it still shows original red color, because that information changes everything about how collectors see it. Number 10. Most people completely ignore the 1957 wheat penny because it looks modern, yet this date quietly proves how condition alone can turn an ordinary coin into a serious collector piece. In this video, you are going to learn why the 1957 no-mint mark wheat penny still matters today, how collectors judge its true potential, and why most examples never reach meaningful value. The 1957 wheat penny without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia during the final years of the wheat penny series, when production was fast and coins were meant to circulate immediately. Because of that, millions entered circulation right away, and very few were protected from handling, storage damage, or were during everyday use. This coin is not rare by mintage or age, but it becomes scarce once you focus only on survivors with sharp strike quality, clean surfaces, and strong original red color. To identify your coin, first confirm the 1957 date and then look below it for a mint mark, because no letter confirms it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Next, examine Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and coat, along with the wheat stalks on the reverse, because flatness, spotting, or dull color instantly lower collector interest. Most 1957 no-mint mark wheat pennies found today are circulated and common, which is why many people underestimate the date. However, in elite certified condition with full original red color, the highest verified auction prices for a 1957 no-mint mark wheat penny have reached around $14,000, achieved only by top population mint state red examples. That figure represents the absolute ceiling for a normal business strike 1957 Philadelphia wheat penny, and does not apply to average or lightly worn coins. Collectors continue to watch this date because it represents a classic late series condition rarity, where value appears only at the highest levels of preservation. Professional grading is essential here, because serious buyers and auction houses only compete for coins with verified mint state surfaces and original color certification. Market interest remains steady as advanced collectors quietly secure the finest known examples, permanently reducing the supply of top-grade coins. If you have a 1957 wheat penny, check the mint mark and study the condition carefully, because those two details determine whether your coin is ordinary or quietly collectible. Now tell us in the comments what condition your 1957 no-mint mark wheat penny appears to be in and whether it still shows original red color, because that information completely changes how collectors view it.